and welcome to Trashy Trashy. Thank you for joining us for a very special minisode where we'll be discussing a recipe for seduction.
Colonel Harlan Sanders has a steamy and savory love affair with a young heiress who must choose between her young chef with a dream of fried chicken glory and a wealthy, duplicitous suitor handpicked by her mother.
Dun dun dun!
I'm Cassandra Cardenas.
And this is Erica Curry.
And this is the recipe for seduction.
So if you are just joining us, Lifetime released a 15-minute film in partnership with Kentucky Fried Chicken, aka KFC. This movie was filmed in October of 2020.
First of all, you just skipped over the most important part. This movie was filmed.
This movie was filmed.
This movie exists.
Oh, man. The trailer dropped December 7th, and it's only available for a limited time on mylifetime.com.
It is free. I'm telling you, you got an Amazon TV, just type in the search, recipe for seduction. It'll take you where you need to go. Watch it. 15 minutes long.
It's 15 minutes of your life. I say invest the time.
More importantly, I think invest the time in our podcast, though, because we're going to talk about it right now.
Absolutely. So we open on a lovely dinner party.
We open on a lovely dinner party and also our beginning credits, a film by Gene.
By Gene. One word.
Who's Gene?
Who is Gene? Let's look this up on IMDb immediately.
Is IMDb I'm going to look it up, but do you think they're going to have someone on IMDb Pro for Gene? I'm going to see. And I'm going to see what else Gene has done, if anything, because their IMDb is going to be like, who?
Who? That was the mind-blowing thing just to start the film.
Well, the intro, deep, oh my God, Gene is a person.
It does have an IMDb page. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, so Gene is a group of people. Gene is a combination of Eric Eckelman, Armand Prisco, and Natalie Prisco.
Oh wow!
What? This is like their improv group?
It feels as if an improv group made a short film.
It really does. Oh my God.
Oh my
okay. So everyone's eating dinner.
Bunny has organized a dinner and she's hired a new chef, she's telling the dinner participants, and fried chicken is of course being served.
Yeah, and this chef she pulled from a restaurant that you can barely get a reservation at.
Nobody can get in there. It's been years that they've been trying to get a reservation at this restaurant.
Now, at this dinner, we quickly realize that we've got our stuck-up rich white guy, Billy, and we've got our young heiress, Jessica, and then Jessica's gay best friend, whose name I missed, and probably on purpose.
Lee. Lee is the name.
Lee. Okay, Lee. Fine.
And the dinner is being organized and thrown by Bunny.
Jessica's mom.
Jessica's mother.
Okay. So Billy, big old bite out of chicken, says, BT dubs, Jessica, will you marry me?
Yeah, a public proposal is like 50-50 a good idea, bad idea?
Would we say 50-50? I'd like to think that more people would not do that if they weren't pretty fucking sure they were going to get a yes.
I watch videos on YouTube that are like proposal fails.
Did you see that documentary of that asshole who he proposed to his girlfriend at like some sports game and then she said no, and then the next day he was like, why did you do that? And she was like, I just can't marry you, your dick is too small, and he did a documentary about his tiny dick?
No, I have not seen such thing.
I'm not making
it up. Now will go seek it out.
Yup. He became like a YouTube, like it went, his heartbreak went viral, and then he like literally like went from country to country and like did all this research in a documentary about having a small dick.
How small are we talking?
It was established that it was pretty small.
Like micro?
It wasn't a micro penis. It was just like, I don't know where the average is, but he was below it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It feels like he's making sour. I mean, I guess you got to make the best out of
the movie was ridiculous.
I can see it. So Billy, her beau, proposes, and the girlfriend Jessica says, I need some time to think. How could you spring this on me?
Mm-hmm. That's a no.
And that's a no. That's a no. The mother is mortified and says she's had too much wine.
I wrote down, what year is this?
Yes. It is hard to place it in a time or place.
Because this is definitely a reality without KFC, but everyone has smartphones.
But there are cell phones. So we are either living in an alternate dimension where KFC has never existed, or we are living in the future where KFC has existed, has gone extinct, and we're so far in the future that they have to reinvent the wheel.
Oh my god. Okay, fine. I accept. You have to suspend reality, I guess, for this one.
Yes, you've got to throw all preconceived notions of like what a film is out the window.
Which is so strange. I wouldn't expect that from Lifetime. So next morning, we find Bunny in her reading quarters, or whatever that big room is that she reads the newspaper every morning, and she's pissed. She is mad at Jessica.
Yes, we learned that the mother and Jessica are in debt because their broke-ass dad died and left them nothing but debt.
I mean, gosh, if I had a quarter.
Tale as old as time. So their dad's left them nothing but debt.
By the way, their version of broke, these women are living at fucking Versailles. Like, this is the nicest place ever.
This is Pasadena Money House.
Oh, yes, Pasadena Money House. Like, we have gardens, we have fountains, we have reading quarters. Like, there's a room for everything.
But yet, the mother has enough money to hire a new chef.
Oh, and meet new chef we do. Hello, enter Harlan Sanders.
AKA Mario Lopez.
Yes, because in this suspended reality, Mario Lopez is also considered a young chef.
Mario Lopez, a crisp 47.
A ripe, fresh from the womb 47 Mario Lopez, where they said, that hair and makeup, they said, nah, we don't want to get a gray wig. Let's just spray paint his hair and then give him a mustache and this weird Colonel Sanders soul patch.
He enters, he's staying in the guest house, we learn, and he's going to be their chef for a little bit. And Billy calls, and Jessica, entranced by Harlan Sanders, silences her phone.
I don't give a shit if you look like Mario Lopez. I'm not fucking you with that facial hair. I mean,
would you fuck Mario Lopez on a given day?
I mean, I don't see why not, but not for the right reasons. I wouldn't say that I'm attracted to Mario Lopez. I'm not attracted to him. Like, he's a good looking guy, but I'm not like, ooh, Mario Lopez. Like, no, I'd probably be uncomfortable the whole time. I'd be like, this is too clean for me. Get me someone dirtier. Mario Lopez is too clean and honestly too young. 47? Mm-mm.
This side of grandpa for you. Too fresh.
Yeah, wrong side of retirement age.
So Harlan is receiving a fresh round of produce, and Jessica looks at him with DTF eyes.
Yeah.
She is smitten.
She's like, boing, like, this chef wears real tight shirts and a funny little black ascot.
I saw somebody online recently that said, I just realized that that's like a little ascot that Colonel Sanders wears, not that that's a stick figure and he has a giant head. They thought that little kerchief that he wears was a stick figure body.
Oh my god.
Up until very recently.
That's like, I was today years old when? That's insane, and they were definitely the only person who thought that.
Yeah, for sure.
So they take a walk in the garden, you know, Game of Thrones style, and she spends most of the time talking about her shitty boyfriend Billy who just proposed, but they fall in love. In
this brief 3-minute scene.
Oh my god, not even 3. Yeah, like this is like a minute 30. She's like, yap, Billy. And he's like, oh yeah, LOL, I have a secret recipe. And then that's it. That's it. Like, Mario Lopez couldn't even sell it. I don't know what he is as an actor. I know him more as a personality, but he didn't he wasn't cracking open the Meisner books for this.
No, he wasn't digging deep. There was no sense memory. There was there was no recollection. There was no direction.
He didn't put himself in the moment and go, what if this was happening to me? He didn't do any of it. He memorized his lines, we think, and said, yeah, I have a secret recipe, so I don't know, maybe.
Gene should have stepped in. Director Gene should have stepped in for this scene. But when
we're blaming the director team of Gene?
I'm just saying they should have officiated a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 of them. They could get. Okay, so Mario, picture this: you've grown from nothing, okay, and this is your style, by the way. You love this look for yourself, and all you want to do is share your seasoning blend on how you make fried chicken for rich people with the world. Okay,
you think this recipe will change the world?
He does say that, doesn't he?
Yes.
I have a question. In the current reality that we live in, which is now, has KFC changed the world?
You can get it in a lot of countries, so some might argue it has changed the world.
Is that all it takes to change the world?
I mean,
because you can get this podcast in a lot of countries. So have we changed the world?
We heard from a listener from Scotland today, so I say so.
All right. I fuck with it.
Changing the world. So in the middle of their conversation, Billy shows the fuck up.
Oh, no.
Scorn lover Billy shows up.
Oh, my gourd. And he's got a low-hanging sweater tied around his shoulders. Typical rich boy.
Typical rich boy, straight out of Central Casting. If someone just said, I want an asshole prep school-looking person from the 80s, this is who would show up.
So he's talking shit to Jessica, and Colonel Sanders is like, bro, relax. And what do you think he says?
Beat it, crouton.
To a chicken chef? No.
Don't turn this into the biggest mistake of your life, Jessica, says Billy.
Ooh, and Jessica walks away. Colonel Sanders gives him a real beating, and then he goes, not a real beating, sorry, a verbal beating. And he goes, and don't call me crouton.
And don't call me crouton.
I mean, I would say that's on par with, here's looking at you, kid, as far as like cinematic like lines.
So her best friend Lee calls and says that he's going on a date at the country club. And FYI, said country club is a real hotel in Pasadena because my friend had their wedding there. And I knew that because I recognized the bar.
I had to pick up a Christmas gift in Montebello recently at a Best Buy because it was the only one that was available as soon as I needed that gift. And so I took a little drive around the east side. Pasadena? Super nice.
Oh, Pasadena is the gem of the east side.
My goodness gracious. No wonder they filmed in Pasadena. They were playing Pasadena for Pasadena here.
It's absolutely stunning. The Huntington, I believe, is the name of the hotel.
So Erica and her trashy queendom is recognizing bars from films now.
Yes, I spotted it. I clocked it immediately. Not from the exterior, but as soon as I saw the bar, I was like, I've made an ass out of myself right there. I know that place.
Yes, I remember a blackout starting that way. So here's, Lee has his date, right, at this country club. His date, if you have a keen eye, is one of the Try Guys.
Oh, no shit?
Yeah, it's one of the Try Guys. Yes, because being a Try Guy for BuzzFeed and, YouTube, it'll get you that sweet, coveted KFC movie extra role.
That's a diamond eye that you've got on you.
I know a Try Guy when I see one.
So on the phone, Jessica reveals that she's falling for the chef. We learn that Lee is going on a date at the country club, which sets up the next scene beautifully.
Yeah, so Billy's drinking alone at the country club. So sassy, just drinking some sort of brown liquor. And who shows up? Bunny.
Dun dun dun. And we learn that Bunny has stolen Jessica's phone, finds her correspondence between her and Lee saying that she's falling for Harlan Sanders. And Billy and the mother reveal that they have had a tumultuous weekend together.
A long weekend in a vineyard. By the way, we're 6 minutes into the movie?
This movie moves fast. So the secret recipe is discussed, and the mother and Billy reveal that they've had a weekend, a tryst. Weekend, a tryst.
You were saying trysk.
I was.
Like a Triscuit cracker.
Yep. I often misuse words that I should know.
Hey, you don't got it. Not on a minisode. That's okay.
That's okay. So she's revealing, Jessica's falling in love for Harlan, and the mother and Billy, she's like, listen, if you don't fix this, we're never going to have one of these little weekends again.
If you marry my daughter, we'll have a lot of long weekends. Hey, I have a question. Why the fuck doesn't Bunny just marry Billy?
No joke. Why don't they just hook up and get married if they seem to enjoy each other sexually?
If she's a widow... That's free game, brother.
Yeah, Billy, you get a look at the hot daughter and you get to sleep with the hot mom. Like, it's a win-win.
Hello, there's tons of porns that start that way.
Dun 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 dun. Is that how porno music
goes? Is that porn music for you? Dun 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 dun. I thought porn music was like ow ow ow.
I think I was humming to the girl from Ipanema is what I was actually.
What's that?
I'm not going to sing it. I'll link it in the episode notes.
The girl from Ipanema. I also don't watch porn with the music on or the sound on in general. This doesn't matter. Keep it in, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so the next scene, we have Jessica saying... Hey, oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. My bad.
So Billy breaks into the next scene. Billy breaks into the kitchen.
That's where Harlan lives.
And he finds his notebook.
Yes. Oh, not after having a long glance with a knife to let the audience know heavy-handedly, in case we weren't following along, that things might start to get fishy.
Things might go south. And so Harlan walks into his domain, the kitchen, and Billy says, secret is out, chicken man.
Okay, so before Harlan walks in, Billy finds the secret recipe, and on the secret recipe, there's an actual cartoon drawing of a piece of chicken.
Yes.
Just in case we didn't know what the recipe was for.
Just in case you were like, oh, recipe book, neato. What else could it be about?
This movie is as subliminal as me when I'm trying to get someone to buy me a present.
Just spell it out. Nobody likes surprises.
Did you see this? Oh my god. I wish I had that. I wouldn't buy it for myself, but yeah, I think I'd like that someday.
Oh, I just straight up send a wish list now. I'm like, this is the things that I would like.
Yeah. That's smart.
Don't get creative with it.
I've done that in the past and I still get the wrong thing. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm not going to waste my time with a wish list. I'm just going to verbally say what I need loud and proud.
So we resume the kitchen. Harlan and Billy, they square off, and Harlan is offered by Billy money to leave.
What was it, like $500,000 or something like that?
It was an absurd number. I did not freeze frame on the exact number, but it was a lot of money.
Let's just call it $6 billion. So Billy offers Harlan $6 billion to leave Jessica alone. Which, what? They only had a walk in the garden, but I guess we did establish that in that walk they did fall in love, although none of that was really shown on screen. And Billy goes, Jessica didn't tell you. She said yes.
She said yes. And he writes him a check, and then Harlan is like, I don't want your money, man.
I'm not going to need it. I'm going to change the world.
with my chicken. We have talked about this movie for longer than the runtime.
Well, you know what? We're not leaving out any questions, which this movie does. So, ding dong.
Ding
We're in a
dong.
new scene. And who's at the door?
But Lee, the friend from the country club.
And he pushes the fuck past Bunny.
And he confronts her about seeing the two of them together at the country club.
And he goes to go up the stairs and she strikes him with the stair mop.
Which, is that just a thing rich people have laying around, stair mops?
I believe so. I did not grow up rich, but I'm pretty sure rich people just have a mop always leaned up against their double staircase in the foyer.
Of course. And their spiral double staircase up to the...
Yes, of course.
Of course. So Jessica calls Lee. No answer.
Okay, so she's like leaving a message. She's like, hey, LOL, I haven't had my phone for a day, so if you've tried to call me, I'm sorry. What? Is that what being rich means? That you can have your phone gone for a day and not implode? I can barely not have my phone with me for 15 fucking minutes.
Yeah, it's everything in me to not check my phone mid-podcast right now.
Of course. I have to physically turn my phone over and get it out of my eyesight. And she's like, I haven't had my phone for a whole day. I'm like falling in love with, Colonel Sanders. But so if he texted me, definitely like playing that right too. But anyways, Illy.
And so the next scene, Harlan confronts Jessica and says, I hope you and your fiance are happy.
They're back and forth. They're like, what's going on with you? And she's like, what do you mean? And he was like, you told my secret recipe? I thought that was just between us. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I, as a viewer, I'm like, what is he talking about?
What is happening?
What is anyone talking about? But like, yeah, so he finds out she's not engaged. And then they, I guess, go on, like, they kiss, which is great.
Passionate kiss.
Yeah, just Jessica and the Chicken Man. And then they have like a night-long fuck fest, which we don't get to see, unfortunately, but it is alluded to in the next scene.
It's definitely alluded to. The mother sees their passionate kiss and calls Billy.
Mm-hmm.
She said, Harlan has left.
We got a problem.
Oh, we got a problem, Billy.
Yeah.
So Harlan's left.
Well, did he? Mom is in the reading quarters. Jessica's like, hey, I really like Harlan. And then the mom was like, oh, that's crazy. He left.
He's left.
What do you mean he's left? I was with him all night. Yeah, I don't know. He left. He's leaving for good. He's moving to Kentucky.
And so Jessica storms out of the house.
In her orange sweater and high-waisted khakis. Typical rich person wear.
Typical, again, straight out of Central Casting. Exactly what rich people wear.
Yeah.
And so she hears a ruckus coming from the grounds.
Oh no, what could that be?
And she opens the door to the shed, and Billy has Harlan tied up and has a knife in his hand.
Oh my god, he's got duct tape on his wonderful mustache and goatee.
And so Jessica is distraught. She doesn't know what to do.
I thought rich people hired people to do this.
No, I guess some rich people take matters into their own hands.
They do it's like Robert Durst style. It's like, no, I'll kill them myself.
I'll kill them all. I killed them all. That's a Robert Durst burp.
Kill them all, of course. If you haven't watched The Jinx, watch it. And also, I'm sorry.
Highly recommend.
Who gets Billy? Does Jessica get Billy, or does Colonel Sanders, while tied up, like, get Billy? Oh no, or does Lee get Billy?
No, so we see that Lee has escaped, and he makes a shush sound to Jessica, and then Harlan headbutts Billy.
Nice.
And then Lee comes in and saves the day.
Yes, but then Bunny shows up.
Bunny shows up and loses it.
And she goes, this is all your fault. And I'm like, you hired him, Bunny. Don't hire such a hot-ass chicken chef.
You knew what was going to happen. It's a tale as old as time. The chicken chef comes in.
Sure it is. That's on you.
You knew. You knew what could happen.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So Mom lunges at Jessica. It's averted. Jessica and Harlan kiss.
Yeah, she takes the duct tape off his amazing facial hair, and they kiss.
And then we get a title card. 1 year later.
We're 11 minutes into the film right now. I'm not exaggerating.
So Lee is officiating the wedding between Jessica and Harlan.
Mm-hmm. A wedding after 1 year. Why not?
I mean, I'm surprised they waited that long.
Honestly, though.
And then we cut to a scene where we see Bunny in an institution.
A mental institution. Her hair's gray and messy, like all mental patients.
She's in sweats, like she's just not the woman she once was. And
you have a visitor.
Oh, and who is it?
Fucking Billy.
It's fucking Billy with a piece of fried chicken in his hand.
He says, I found them. Big ol' bite of chicken. A film by Gene.
End of the movie.
Sequel.
Cass, at this point, what were you thinking?
I was thinking, why? You did it, okay? You did it. You've made the effort to make the KFC movie. You're not even gonna go for like a 22-minute with commercial thing. Like, really? We're doing 15 minutes? I hate to say, because obviously we've described the movie and it's a bad movie. I wish it was longer.
Yeah. I hate to say, I wish there were more of it. Like, at least, yeah, like a half hour. A half hour with commercials is 22 minutes.
Yeah, it's left me with too many questions. And so it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you gotta tell me more or just not exist at all.
And Billy, were Harlan and Jessica hiding from you? What do you mean you found them?
Yeah, it's insane. And also, like, leave it to rich people. They try to murder someone and they end up in a mental institution as opposed to jail.
And Billy gets out scot-free for kidnapping.
Well, I mean, his hair was gray too, so a lot of shit happened to them in the 1 year. Either that or the hair and makeup person was like, hey guys, I have some extra after doing Mario. Does anyone want some? Which is what my mom... Yeah, my mom did that when she was dyeing her hair when I was in 3rd grade. She's like, I have some extra red. You want some? This movie's very silly. Speaking of my mom did watch this. She said, how do I find this? I want to watch it. Because we talked about it on last week's show, or this week's show.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah. Hi, Mom.
Oh, how
Joyce.
Nice.
Oh, how nice. Do you have any notes?
Yeah, I was upset we didn't see just like full penetrative sex at any point in this film. I think that's the only note I had.
Honestly, if there's one thing that I can really associate with KFC, it is full penetrative sex. So I agree with you on that.
I mean, I have so many questions, more questions than answers. But for 15 minutes, like, I will say, they kept it moving.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a really good sketch group, Gene.
Yeah, nothing lingered. Like, I might have questions, but they didn't, like, mince words on any scenes.
I guess, and you know, at first I was like, what is Mario Lopez thinking doing this? But you know what? We're talking about it. I've never talked about Mario Lopez this much in my life.
No, AC Slater has never graced my screen this much, I would say.
No. He hosts like something on E, doesn't he?
Surely. He's always at the Grove hosting something.
Him and Nick Cannon, man. Unstoppable. And also, both of them don't age.
No, we joked about him being a crisp 47, but that is his actual age, but he looks pretty good for his age.
I mean, I don't know how to end this one.
No, I would you recommend our listeners to watch it?
It's 15 minutes. Of course I would.
Okay, same. I absolutely agree. It's worth your watch.
If this was like The Irishman and we did a 30-minute episode on The Irishman, I'd be like, no, please God, don't watch it. It's almost 3 hours. But this is 15 minutes of your life to just sit there and go, what? I think you should do it.
Order some KFC, grab you a glass of wine, and watch A Recipe for Seduction. Yeah. Where can the people find you, Cass?
At Cass Cardenas on Instagram and Twitter. And I, every Tuesday night on the Smodcast Network, on the Nooner Podcast. You can also find that on the Smodcast channels, on the iTunes and all of the business. Where do they find you, Erica?
at Iconic Erica Curry on Instagram. And I just want to say thank you to our listeners that are following me. I see you. I appreciate it. And thank you for leaving a comment and letting me know you're there. And I'm at Gillygal on Twitter. Again, I appreciate all of the listeners chiming in. It makes me not feel so alone in this world. We're so grateful.
We love you so much.
You can find this podcast at Trashy Trashy Pod on Instagram and Twitter. And you can email us at trashytrashypodcast@gmail.com. Again, we love you guys. I hope you have fun with this little mini-sode, and let us know if you'd like us to cover more topics, and maybe we do mini-sodes in the future.
And in the meantime, get some chicken.
Get some chicken. Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake.
Wow, a reference to another movie. Why not?
Why not? There are no rules.
Nope.
Hey, Cass.
What's up, girl?
You stay garbage.
I love you. You stay garbage too. Bye.
Bye.